Today, I want to talk to you all about a very famous artist. He is so famous throughout the world for his paintings and drawings, and we specifically want to look at his sketchbook since we're also making sketchbooks. Now, some of you may have heard of his name, Leonardo, and I bet a lot of you think of something else when you hear Leonardo, and that might be the Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtle Leonardo is actually named after this very famous artist who lived more than 500 years ago. So I want to tell you a little bit more about him. This is a drawing of his on this front page, and that has been used for many years for a lot of doctors' offices and for different people who are studying the human body, because Leonardo really wanted to have his proportions exactly right. He wanted to make sure he was drawing the human body accurately. But we're going to look at some more pictures of his. So Leonardo da Vinci was born almost 500 years ago, April 15th, 1452. And he was born in the small town of Vinci, Italy. And if you notice, his name is Leonardo da Vinci. Well, his last name, actually comes from the town he was born in. In the Italian language, which is what he spoke, being born in Italy, the word da, D-A, Leonardo da Vinci, actually means of. So it was Leonardo of Vinci, and that was how he was known. This drawing that you see here was a self-portrait that he drew. Remember, a self-portrait is a picture of yourself. If the artist is drawing a picture of themselves, that's a self-portrait. A portrait would be a picture of someone else or some other thing. So Leonardo da Vinci was born in Italy over 500 years ago, but we know him mostly as an artist. However, he was much more than an artist. He was an inventor, he was a scientist, a mathematician, he was an architect. Do you know what an architect does? They design buildings and houses to live in or work in. He also designed some bridges. He was a sculptor. He did all kinds of things. And some of his sketchbooks have really shown us how intelligent he was and all the inventions he had come up with that no one ever knew about during his life. So these pictures here show a few of the pages from his sketchbooks. After he died, way back in 1519, people found a whole collection of his sketchbooks. And in those sketchbooks were drawings, there were designs, there were secret ideas for inventions. And the pages, after 500 years, they've gotten pretty old. So that's why they kind of look brown and dirty or yellowish in color. But these are just a few examples so you can see some of his architecture or building drawings. This was actually a church he helped design. And then the other picture is a horse and a man, and you can kind of tell it's not a completely finished, clear picture, is it? This is a sketch, just like we call our sketchbooks, because sketches are practice. They don't have to be super perfect. They don't have to be the finished piece. Sketches are more for you to practice with, and if you are working on a final work of art, it's kind of like your rough draft. So Leonardo in his sketchbooks didn't worry about things always being just perfect and exact. And yours don't have to be either. It's for us to make a plan as we get started on other artwork. And then below, the last picture is actually one of his inventions. Leonardo da Vinci really wanted to know how to fly. This was one of his flying inventions. He studied birds after bird after bird, really wanting to be able to fly like a bird. So he came up with all kinds of things that could possibly help him do that. Da Vinci also studied nature. He studied what was around him, whether it was animals or plants, and this really helped him draw and paint more realistically, so it would look real. These are a few more of his sketchbook pages. And something pretty cool that you might not notice or know about his sketchbooks. When people found them, his writing was in Italian, which made sense because he was from Italy and he spoke that language, but his words were not written how we normally write. They weren't from left to right, how you would do your normal letters. He wrote everything in reverse. he flipped it so that it kind of became a secret code for him. If somebody were to look over his shoulder, they wouldn't be able to understand his secret ideas because it was all reversed. They say you would have to hold a mirror up to the words so that you could actually read the reversed letters. So from just seeing pictures of his sketchbooks and hearing how he worked with his sketchbooks, we are going to use that for our inspiration for our sketchbook cover. As this page says, we've already gotten to the part about our pages and counting them out and folding them, and you've decorated your title page, which is great. So now we just need our cover. So what we are going to do is kind of use the design of Leonardo da Vinci and to make it look aged and very well used, we are actually going to make our own covers with brown paper. So here we have a piece of construction paper. And something I thought you could do, if you don't want to, that's totally fine, but something that I did for mine, here's one that I made to show you. I crumpled up my paper to make it look a lot older and look like it's aged and well worn. And then I decorated it after I put it together. So to get started, I'm going to take one piece of construction paper. I'm going to crumple it up. You just want to be careful not to squish it too much so that it tears. You want to be gentle as you crumple, if possible. Then you can open it up. It's just really like squeezing paper together. If you've never crumpled up a piece of paper, you could open it and squeeze it a different way. I know the picture is kind of blurry. Open it up very carefully. You don't want it to rip. Now, if it rips a little bit, it's actually okay because it goes right along with the age of the sketchbooks. Okay, so once you have it wrinkled, you open it up, smooth it out. Now you have your crumpled paper cover. Okay, so what we want to do after you smooth it, you're going to fold it in half, same way you did your pages. Fold it over. You want to match up those corners. Okay, match a corner, put my finger on it, match another corner, put my finger on it, and then I'm going to crease it so you have your cover just like you did before. Okay, like your pages, I mean. So now I have my pages and the title page I did last week that you will find in your color folder at your table. I'm going to put these inside, and while you are waiting on me to come punch holes for your binding, you can decorate the outside. Maybe if I want to make it look like a picture frame and I could draw a picture right here on the front, or if I wanted to do another title like I did on mine right here, like my sketchbook, or maybe me drawing something or an art easel, or I could do a paint palette. It's kind of up to you what you want to do. Okay? Can't really see that, can you? So I'm actually going to use a marker. You could use crayons or however you would like to decorate. And you could draw your paint blobs and fill them in different colors. Whatever you want to do. You don't have to do this. This was just my thought. Maybe I'll draw a paintbrush. Okay, so you get the idea. Then I'm going to come around and I'm going to punch holes with my big hole puncher. And depending on how many pages we have, it could be pretty hard to punch. So that's why I need to punch it. Okay, so now I've got my holes punched. You want to be very careful to make sure these holes stay lined up. Sometimes if your pages slide, you won't see the hole all the way through. All you have to do is slide your pages back down. You can even sometimes use your pencil if you need to help you line up the holes. Then I'm going to give you a piece of string or yarn. And when I give that to you, you could thread it through however you like. I'm going to start from the back, and I'm going to push it through this hole right here. I'm going to grab it and pull it through a little bit. Then I'm going to take this end. I'm going to push it through back here. Oh, see, it didn't get lined up. I got to push my holes back. Now I can pull it through. Okay. Then I'm going to tie it just like my tennis shoe. Tie it. And something you could do is have a friend put their finger right here to help you tie a double knot if you want. Ta-da! Then you could tie a bow or whatever. So this is your job today. You need to get your sketchbook put together, and then after you can go back and keep working on your title page, okay? But do your cover first. Great. Thanks for watching. Good luck.